because a lot of times the white media has perpetuated a lot of these narratives and injected them into our communities. We are afraid to even approach trans people because only thing you see us as on television is streetwalkers, and some of us are streetwalkers. I've streetwalked before.
And I would say one of the most healing moments was when I had top surgery about 3 years ago, and my mom was there by my bedside helping me all the way through it as far as recovery. And it was like this beautiful, beautiful moment for us to kind of like, connect on this certain level and for her to support me in ways that maybe like growing up, she really wasn't able to. And
this thing, right? So I was called a faggot very young, right? By like adults and by...
How young?
I would say my first memory is probably like 4.
Wow.
I think what's important is for us to also give people grace in that way. It's like not everybody's going to get pronouns right away. And I always feel like when people slip up, you can tell the intention behind it. If it's like, oh, sorry, and sorry. And for
the malicious intent versus the...
Most people in this world don't even want to have a conversation with a trans person. They have so much bigotry and hatred and transphobia in their hearts and in their minds that they don't even want to sit down at a table and have a coffee, right? And just talk about life, not just about, and that's the problem that I have. Like, I'm not a conversation piece to give you a history on gender and sexuality. No, I am, as I said, a very nuanced person. So we can have a very in-depth conversation about tennis, and then maybe I can then share with you about my experience as a Black trans tennis fan and what that means to me when I show up at the tennis court as a Black trans woman, right?
Just like, just again, ignorance or just not knowing like, oh, actually my child isn't weird or a problem to be fixed. It's like, that's who they are.
Acknowledgement and acceptance. Does that matter?
Well, acceptance, yes, 100%, because it's about being comfortable. It's about being comfortable in our work lives and our private lives. And I have to say, I think, for some people, it's definitely a process. Like I have been in different spaces, and I know this is like one of the questions I think that was posed before was like, how is transit or like how has my experience been in different Black spaces? And I think one of the harsher realities I had is when I was doing a PhD program in Africana Studies at the University of Pennsylvania, I had an extremely transphobic experience.
I think just is everybody, every issue is polarizing. Everybody is on their own side. People don't like talking to people that don't agree with them. People don't like talking to people that don't believe like them. And I know how we
trans people are used to doing that. I'm used to doing that. We're like I don't want to sound like Donald Trump here and be like, we're the most this, that, and third.
About in Florida about Tony McDade, a Black trans man who was killed by police. I have to wonder, where was the outcry? Because that is my reality. When I step out the door, the cops are not going to like think twice. Is this, is a man or what? No, I look like a black man, which I am, a Black man of trans experience. And those are my issues as well.
About Black trans women. What would you say, Gia, is the most common misconception about Black women that people have? Well, and let's talk about our people. That
your fantasies are not my fantasies, and ultimately that we are seen as deceptive, as manipulators, right? That we deceive the men because of our actions. That it justifies that we should be hurt, that we should be killed.
That's why I don't participate in these movements, because if we're gonna have a Black movement, it needs to be Black.